It's time again this week for Fridays in the Field. I'm Shaylee Peters on the Rural Radio Network, and we're back to get an update. The first update was Central Nebraska farmer Ben Peters. Peters farms corn and soybeans near Worms, Nebraska in Merrick County. And here talks about the hail they received recently and where they're at with this growing season.
Yeah, we had a couple weeks ago, we had a storm come through. Some smaller stuff, and then once in a while there was some golf ball sized hail or a little bigger, and had a little bit of wind with it, so it stripped up some of the corn pretty good.
The last time we talked to Ben, he told us about why irrigation is so important in his area specifically, and here talks about getting ramped up for irrigation this season.
Yeah, the corn's really growing. Once it grew out of the hail damage, it's grown pretty fast, and then we had about 1.5 inches of rain with that storm, so that helped, and then had a little bit of rain again the other night. So the corn's really taking off. The beans are growing pretty fast too. I would guess there's some corn in the area that'll probably be tasseling here in the next probably 10 to 14 days. Yeah, we had been irrigating the corn. I had run the pivots on some of the beans to activate some residual herbicides, but just about everybody had kind of been laying out pipe and getting wells going until this rain here, and I assume probably here this weekend or Monday again, everybody will be running again if it doesn't rain.
Recent rains across part of this area meant he could shut off wells for the time being, but not for long.
Right now, the corn's not using as much. So we had the other night, we had 1.25 inches, so I'll probably start everything back up maybe Sunday night, Monday morning. So right now the corn's not using a lot, the beans aren't using a lot, but here in the next week or 10 days or so, once the corn really starts taking off, that's Toby the scout dog. Once the corn starts taking off, it'll start using 1/4 inch, 30 hundredths a day, so we'll really be watering pretty hard here after another 10 days or so.
In the next few weeks, Ben talked about why this is such a crucial time, especially for his corn crop with pollination just around the corner. I asked him about giving me 2 scenarios, what happens if it continues to rain and what happens if it doesn't.
Well, if we keep catching rain, that would be a good thing. Irrigation isn't really meant to replace rain, it's meant to supplement. So if we don't catch summer rains, it's kind of hard to keep caught up with stuff. Around here, we have pretty shallow water, but it's not the best. So it'd be nice to keep catching a little bit of rain to help us stay ahead with the watering. If it doesn't rain, we'll be watering nonstop until the 1st of September, 10th of September on the beans maybe. Just kind of depends on how they do.
We then circled back around to the severe weather he's received in the past month since talking to him and what that might mean for his yields this year.
It's hard to tell. The corn really looks good, but we had that real cool wet weather the end of April, beginning of May, and then now with the hail and the wind, we could see maybe later on some disease issues. So it's really hard to say. The corn looks good right now, but we still have a lot of growing season left, so it's kind of hard to tell. I think everything looks really good. The beans really look pretty good, so I'm still somewhat optimistic, but a long ways to go.
We'll catch up with Ben a little later in this growing season, and you can find all of our Fridays in the Field audio and video by visiting ruralradio.com or finding us on Facebook and Twitter. For this week's Friday in the Field, I'm Shaylee Peters on the Rural Radio Network.